Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne with Itze and a rather spontaneous stream of Finland versus Catalonia. Of course, it's the WTCOC again, this time Group A, the second week. The Finns have won their first match versus Australia with 5-0, so currently they are on first place in this group, and Catalonia has won versus an arguably stronger opponent in Hong Kong with 3-2. So if the Catalans would like to qualify for the playoffs, they surely have to dispatch the Finns today. But this won't get easy. They definitely are the favorites on tables 1 and 2, even though one should note that this fella here was a third place finisher in the World Championship, but roughly 20 years ago, and just recently returned to play competitive Carcassonne. So let's see how Jabla fares today versus the current world champion Zengler. Then we should have a pretty close match on tables 3 and 4. And then, of course, Nallerheim should wipe the floor with a P Capella, but well, the 400 rated players sometimes are way stronger than you'd think. Just ask Nallerheim about the one fella from Australia who kicked him from the Champions League qualification. So there's a bit of history between R4 Muziro and Shaoling, else not much to talk about. So let's just check if they have started playing, and they haven't, but it's only 2014, so that's okay. Let's quickly go to the group page. Classification should work. So here's the situation I talked about. Finns in first place due to the 5-0 and even 10-3 game wins versus Australia, and Catalonia after beating Hong Kong in third place. Doesn't really matter for now, because if the Catalans wanna get to the first or second place, they'd have to beat China or Hungary, preferably both, of course. So let's refresh the games, and they are playing. Let's check what Laboratory can accomplish versus Visitor Q here. Then I'll open the other games in the secondary windows in a few seconds. So far, standard moves, except for this one maybe. I'm not sure why Visitor didn't attack the road, but well, it likely has its reasons. One thing to note, I'm testing a new script which is fresh from my keyboard, more or less. I just hadn't had any time to test it more. This should auto zoom auto zoom the secondary windows and the main window after, I think I've set it to 15 place tiles, and it looks like it's working. So if you notice any problems with the zoom in the or smaller windows in the corners, please let me know in the chat. Then I would disable it if it doesn't work as intended. But for now, I think it looks fine. So after a rather longish prelude here, let's check what's happening. So visitor queue. Oh, I forgot the colors. Of course, the Finns should play blue as it's in their coat of arms, and the Catalans with yellow, which fits them well too. So, where was I? Visitor queue snatched juicy city in the middle, plus 2-point road on the left side. Laboratory at least got a small city plus 2 points as well. And now VQ is ahead on the scoreboard, but the features on the board are almost exclusively in blue's possession, and it looks more or less tied. This config is a bit problematic because blue can't really continue city building unless the city at top of the monastery is resolved, else they'd risk a block obstruction harassment from the left side to right now I'd say either the dagger or the rose, because there are still 4 road Doritos available. This wouldn't help yellow in any way. And this here is a big problem for blue as well. There's only one starting tile remaining here. So yellow might even use a curve to put it this way. A bit counterintuitive, because normally you just kill this square. But forcing a second meeple of blue into the same abyss, and even if there would still be a 50-50 chance to then liberate both, waiting for this one would take ages and might be worth more than killing one completely. Yep, here we go. Exactly what yellow does. And here's the next problem up top. Also quite easy to limit the city to a starting tile, and therefore blue, okay, the same problem here, and blue can just defend one of them. Also 2 horses gone, and yellow might just limit the city up top to the 3rd and last horse. So this looks pretty block heavy against blue, and in definitely yellow's favor. The next block happening on the right side. So now yellow just has to score, because blocks are nice and dandy, but if you don't use your meeples to outscore the blocked meeples of your opponent, they aren't worth the move. So VQ just taking 4 points at the bottom for sure. What is this? Yeah, this I don't get. Perfectly healthy 4-point city here. City, of course. Road. Blue tries to block one of yellow's features just for something different here in this game. And they managed to at least save the 50-50 spot on the top. Yellow goes for the kill here and will likely succeed. If they wish, they could. Else they might just close this city feature and open a new city just in case they get the horse, and then they would have a nice city in their possession, which would only need another city cap. Yep, instead, that's also fine, of course. They add 1 point to their monastery and snatch a field. This one for sure will score at least 9 points in the end. And now they start to use their meeples. 11 points for monasteries. Not enough, but in addition to the scoreboard lead, this looks pretty good for them. And now I don't get this here. And now they take the 4 points instead of just adding 3 up top. Well. Of course, adding this to your city would have the problem of pre-blocking your monastery, but this was under attack from the left side anyway, so I don't see why yellow shouldn't risk this. If they would close this city, this would be game over. And the way they played, there's still a chance for blue. There's still one crossroad left and blue needs that. This is the critical tile here, of utmost importance to liberate these 2 meeples and soon. And even so important that blue should go here, maybe, but not if they can defend this square, because there are still 2 roses available to liberate this one. This move is okay. Doesn't really accomplish much, but if you have no other alternatives preventing this field from expansion to the right, at least accomplishes something. So blue got the rose, finished their 10-point city and snatched a 6-point road on top. Considering there aren't that many tiles left and blue had 2 meeples in hand, they even opt to take this 9-point field for the price of 2 definitely blocked meeples, but it was an 11-point move. even though I think it wasn't necessary to do this. They could have gone here and just waited for crossroad. Hi, Glovia. Yeah, now what to do if you're blue? There's no starting tile left, so this one is blocked. Sadly for blue, but the good news is there's no attack incoming this way. So why not assess the score here for now. Blue has 15 points from monasteries. The road scores 9, that's 24 plus 5 here, so 29. Minus 9 on the scoreboard, 20. What is this here? Yeah, this works. If there's still a monastery left, and there is still a monastery left, the vertical splitters are all gone. What about vanillas? There is at least a third one. Okay, this then is almost a surefire connection. So I was at 29 minus 9 on the scoreboard. This ruin roughly, no, exactly 10 points. So 10, 7, plus 1 yellow, plus 10 yellow. Would be plus 24. No way for blue to win here. On table 4, Charling won their game versus R4 Musero. Musero, I'm not sure. Quite decisively even. Let's check if they have already started their second, and they have. On table 4, not table 4, table 2, the favorite Zangla, current world champion, won versus Finland's Greybeard Juggler. And Lapatori here on the featured table. Just trying to find ways to improve their situation, but there aren't. Not anymore. Yellow connected to the field, so should be at plus 24. Table 1 also just concluded, and it looks like an upset as scoring takes place right now, and Reuter on the game 112 to 79. But considering Reuter has played at least a few matches versus Nallerheim and fared quite well, this isn't as unexpected as one might think. Playing regularly with one of the best surely should improve your skill. So what's happening here? Lapatori taking their sweet time. I'm not sure why. So for now, what's happening with Nallerheim? Well, let's switch to them and check what Otto is doing here. Oh, looks reasonably close. Oh, not really though, because well, let's take the right color. There's a blue field over here and a blue field here as well. And the second one scores 18 points, the other one 6, so 24 on the fields for blue. There are additional 4 points over here. This is 28 plus the 16 on the scoreboard, and we are at 44. Yellow even supplies another few points here. Not exactly sure why they do a minus 2 point move, but well, they did. So what did I say? 44 now, 46, 39, 36, and these two here for 15, so 21 plus 5, 26. This would have been nice if there were still a road monastery out there. Then yellow maybe could have scored quite a lot of quick points here, but they only have one meeple in hand and all crossroads are gone, so this square is dead. And well, there still are starting tiles out there. 2 even. So they could liberate this one, and then I think they should have just meepled the monastery. Just to take the 8 points, hope to get one of the starting tiles right after, and then in the end maybe snatch this one here. Just have to, yeah. Okay, looks like a sure win for Nallerheim, so let's switch back. Just have to reload quickly. Looks like Laboratory and Visitor Q had a break in the meantime, because they have only played these few pieces and just roughly 2 minutes gone on their clocks. Not really sure what Laboratory is thinking about going here to create an attacking platform against Yellow City. Of course, should be the move. No real incentive in trying to harass Yellow City. There are 2 options, so as long as one is still open, you could still attack if they, for example, would get a Dorito. Yeah, depending on your philosophy about snatching 1-point roads, this could be an idea just to prevent these loop roads from your opponent. So, wrong colors, excuse me, I'll switch them momentarily. And in Reude versus Pronom Febles game as well. So it looks like the second game of Reude versus Pronom Feble has an overfarming Catalan here. 3 farmers for right now 18 points. That's a bit heavy, but there are still options to extend the field and add more cities. So this could pay off in the end. Well, I'll try to keep an eye on this situation. Yep, Nallerheim takes the first game with 30 plus points, as expected. And in this year, the Finn got a nice city in the middle, was able to close this road here. And now they already fight about the field. Nice farmer here will connect once they get a curve, or might just curl the other way around. So I wouldn't wonder if blue would place a farmer as well now, and they do. Also has 2 options to find a way to the main field here. So yellow has 1 prime monastery spot, but could only use this with the regular monastery, because the road monastery, of course, they'd kill both their city and the monastery at the same time, so they'd only do this on one of the last moves. And blue, on the other hand, has a prime monastery spot up top. But with their 19 point lead on the scoreboard right now, the more or less shared field in the middle, at least I would expect this to be shared sometime soon. Looks quite promising for the Finn in this game. Yellow with another farmer likely. No, they don't. Well, with 3 meeples in hand, why not? This even has a shot at connecting all the way over here. If someone gets a road monastery, for example, like this. Or directly here. And now blue takes this. No, they don't. They just defend their city, because 3 starting tiles are already gone. So any city part over here or a road part to limit this to the last two last remaining crossroads would be problematic. Now yellow takes the field, created an evil hamster or a regular monastery. Horse has a problematic road here 2 of the right-handed daggers are already gone. And now this is a ruin. Completing this would need the starting tile over here, and that's a 50-50 alone. So investing good tiles here would be just a waste. Same goes for laboratories, city/ruin on the right side, of course. Oh, I just didn't notice yellow got the road monastery, put it in the place, which was exactly as I sketched earlier. So once blue completes the road, yellow's farmer will connect to the main field, and then blue would need to add a third one to tie the game, maybe closing their city, and adding one would be an idea, but yellow prevents this. And when did they get the monastery? Well, obviously when I didn't look. So scoreboard tied, yellow getting the crucial monasteries here. But considering blue doesn't have any big features apart from the ruin on the right side, they definitely need to fight for the field here. Don't see them winning without at least tying the main field. A lot of big city tiles are gone. There are still some in the deck with shields even. Well, come on. You are more or less behind. You wanna add one piece over here anyway, and you do. You have 1, 2, 3 meeples, which are rather easy to liberate. Why not take this more or less easy to complete monastery here? I'm not sure if this was the right move, because even though the monastery restricted the city, it also protected it. So adding the extender over here would have given you at least one turn more to close one of your cities. So I would have preferred this move. Now blue needs to hope for the second. I forgot to load Nalaheim's second game. Please excuse this mishap. R4 tied their game versus Chaoling. So these two will play a decider in a few seconds, and Zangla won their second game versus Jabla as well. So the Catalans are the first one on the match scoreboard, leading 1-0 of course. Blue got the diagonal splitter, but this only adds a few points to them because yellow then got one of the roses to score an 8-point city. So in the end, this config was no big problem for yellow. This farmer has a long way to the field. I'm not sure this actually was necessary here. Yes, the hope is to snatch at least a 9-point field, and that's all fine, but You need 2 pieces here, which you might need elsewhere. But for now, these 2 squares aren't filled, so yellow's farmer isn't on the main field, and this one is under attack by blue's third farmer, which should be able to connect. Now, interesting decision for laboratory. Do you close your road or don't you? Yep, and Glovier is exactly right. The top field, 12 points. Bottom field after the splitter move here, 15 points. But now these 2 fields are united. So we are talking about a 9-city field. 9 cities, plural. So 27 points. And this will be the feature deciding the game. Right now it looks as if the field would be tied, it would be an oh so close game. 4 points on the scoreboard plus 7 for blue. So 11, yellow has 6 over here. And 7 there, which is 13. So if all the fields were tied, yellow would be ahead right now. And laboratory deliberating what exactly, whether to go here and take the road. Well, I'd say yes. Then he would just need to prevent yellow's farmer over here from connecting, or try to connect with his one there, or maybe go here and maybe even now try to add this one. Whoops. And then connect with another curve if there's still one available. All the yapping, I really can't count. So no curve. Road monasteries, of course, are gone as well. So this option doesn't work. Well, if there aren't any straightish tiles out there, maybe blocking here even would be an idea, but there's at least one crossroad still remaining. Starting tiles are gone. Regular straights. There should be still one out there. So excuse me, 2 pieces over here to connect. One straight, one crossroad. And no curves. Then also, unless there's a dagger crossroad straight combo here. Is there still one of the daggers available? 1, 2. I don't see another one. So in theory, this blue farmer could still connect. Now let's see if this will even happen, and if visitor Q notices this and tries to block it. So he goes for the attack up top. One regular monastery still remaining. And I think this was the last vanilla, exactly. So this here would need the monastery, but there's also an option like this with the crossroad, or with this one, but we'd rather not use this as long as the monastery is still available. Only problem is if blue would get the crossroad, then they could kill this option, and now they definitely should. And just hope to get the crossroad here, and that's exactly the problem with this one. Why take 2 points if you can go over here, take 8 points for this road, not the 7 I mentioned, I think, and connect your farm. I mean, if you use this to protect the farm, okay, yeah, all things considered, going over here just to prevent this from happening would have worked. Oh, shame. We missed the upset. Oh, what is this? Yeah, we missed the upset on table 1. Royde won the second game versus Pronom Fible as well. So a 200 rated player dispatching a regular 600 rated player. Nice one. Oh, this is a nice idea. So that's killed. Blue's connection option is still alive. Yes, Raf, yellow is ahead by only a few points if the field is tied. I've lost track a bit here. So if you insist, 3 points yellow, 9, and the ruin was worth 7, so 16 minus 4, 12. 9, so 3. But this scores 6 for blue, so actually if the main field is tied, blue would be ahead 3 points. If yellow wins the main field, they win the game. The same goes for blue. So dead, no curves, no road monastery remaining. Yep, field was 27 last time I checked, and there weren't any cities added to it. Blue gets the crossroad, gets the connection. Yellow gets another 2 points, but blue gets a 6-point field. So in the end, 7 points plus for blue. Nope, 6 with this. Of course, as always, if I counted correctly. Oh, damn it. So I didn't count correctly. 10 points in the end. But a win for blue nonetheless. And few moves here, which I don't really get. But at least we get a decider. Talking about deciders. Why did no one tell me that I should load the third game of R4 Musero versus Chaoling. They are almost done. And nobody had any chance to witness this on this stream. Damn it. Excuse me, but I won't count this here. Although, just wanted to say they have 11 minutes on their clock. Let's assess this. Quickly gathering all this, I'd say yellow. So in this case, the Finn should win this one. And they do. So prime opportunity for the captain to take it home and deliver an upset, at least on paper. And I'll open Laboratory versus Visitor Q's third game in the bottom right corner. And switch the colors here. So Nallerheim with blue, of course. His standard meeple color is blue. We all know that. Nobody in his right mind would use green. So what are we having? Tight field at the bottom, 8 points blue, 8 points yellow. We don't care about that. This is dead. So yellow's roads, because this is dead as well. Scores 9 points on this one. An additional 1 point, which adds up to 10 points in yellow's favor. The main field right now is a blue one, because there are, whoops, no, I didn't want to type anything. This was just a cat on my keyboard, not me. So blue has 2 meeples and yellow only 1, and the second one is waiting to attack, but the same goes for blue's third meeple here. Although this is killed immediately, so the only chance for blue is this here. Road monasteries are gone. Curves we'll count quickly. A lot of curves still out there, considering there are only 9 tiles left in the game. So now that the main field is tied, well, nope. Blue's ruin on the right side scores 8 points, which is a tad less than yellow's road plus ruin. So there's still hope for Picapella here. If this field stays tied, if blue successfully attacks this, and it is quite likely with 3 curves still remaining, blue for sure would win this. So what's Nallerheim thinking about? Just preventing an attacking option on the left, because this is quite likely the only attacking option. Maybe this one here would still work. There's a dagger present, but there isn't. So maybe just going here. And then just taking the city cap. So, because if you go here, then a Dorito like this or big city tile would allow the attack. But big city tiles are gone completely. Doritos, I'm not sure. Doritos as well. What about the splitters as well? So going here would kill this as an attacking option. Oh, just takes it safe, putting a fourth meeple into action to snatch the 18 points. And if he succeeds, this should be game over. So yellow has +5. This one scores 3, so +2 yellow right now. Once they lose the main field, they'll lose the game. Yeah, I also wasn't sure if winning the field for blue is enough, because there is a 9-point field at the bottom, but there aren't really options to attack this. Even a ninja like this doesn't really work, because the daggers, as we've seen, are gone, and the Doritos to go over here as well. The prime candidates to take over a field in the monasteries are gone as well. And this one here just is way too slow in the end. So yellow, yeah, just hopes to get all the curves, and if they do, I think they win, but they don't. So blues win. Congratulations, Finland. You've just beat Catalonia. Now the only question left to answer is, do you even manage a 4-1 here? And to answer this question, let's go back to the two players we've started this evening with, and Visitor Q and Lapatori. Hey Jabla. Who would have thought that you might be the only one in the end who would lose a game, their duel tonight? If Lapatori manages to win this one here, and right now, why not? So the Finn tries to go for the field supermajority again. And yellow's problem is, of course, this monastery will only be liberated with a curve, and then blue has 3-1 meeples on this quite huge field. I think 21 points. No, 18 for now. This here is interesting. And if my count is right, there are still 2 daggers. Oh wait, no, 1. 2 over here. And yellow gets this. So now the field is worth 21 points. Once it's completed the curve next to yellow's monastery, that is, for now, it's still at 18 points. But these 10 points for yellow, they really hurt blue here. because now if yellow manages to use their meeples to attack the field and successfully tie it, yellow would be ahead. Their only problem is that it's more or less impossible to attack this field. Maybe over here, but still 2 crossroads remaining to immediately block this. And then later on there are other quite risky options. And of course, I didn't notice this here. There are ninjas as well. Ideally, yellow would have waited to get a crossroad here. And then they had both options. Now blue, at least I hope they will, should kill the bottom one. Because, no, actually, they should kill this one. Because here yellow could take 4 points. And you'd need to use a crossroad to kill it like this, better like this anyway. But well, if you get all the tiles you need, you don't have to be extra precise. Yellow created an attacking spot and quite likely should and will now use this. And then there's another attacking spot, plus adding a curve here, and they'd have at least tied the field, but still tough to win this one. Blue trying to at least outscore yellow with this ruin. Right now yellow has these 11 points on the board versus blue's 4 plus the 4 points on the scoreboard. So +3 yellow if, no, +3 +1 if the, come on, what is this? What was so problematic about going here? Do you really hope to get all the curves? Okay, looks like this, and why not? It's a 25%. No, actually I miscounted. Okay, then excuse me. I'm sorry, VQ. I didn't notice that there was only one curve remaining to connect blue's third farmer to the main field. So going over here was indeed quite risky, but not as bad as I had initially thought. But now that there are 3 dead farmers for 0 points by yellow, and actually no chance at all to attack the main field of blue again, this game's over, and Laboratory will win their duel as well. To push the Finns to the second match win, and quite convincing one at that, versus Catalonia, and a tiebreaker of 9-1 duel wins. And then, if they field their best players versus Hungary and Hong Kong as well, I think one should expect them to create problems for these teams as well. That's quite strong performance here, considering this is their second WTCOC ever, and last year's wasn't really that great. So looks like their captain and player coach Nallerheim did a good job here over the year. So one last refresh. Finns rejoice. Laboratory turns in a near 40-point win. Not because Visitor Q lacked effort here, but I guess the deciding situation was getting both crossroads in successive moves by the Finn here. Well, congrats Finland again. I won't bore you with the table here. We'll just have a look at the calendar and check if this was updated since earlier. And yeah, there are a few matches scheduled now. So there's one tomorrow at 19 UTC, Czech Republic, Netherlands. This should be an interesting one. And then on Friday, Tutejša, Croatia for sure will be interesting. Both hoping to win this one in the group of Dev G with 5 teams, all able to win the first place there. I'll decide sometime tomorrow whether I'd stream Czech Republic versus Netherlands. So keep an eye on Carcassonne GG, subscribe, what else? Just check in at the time, whatever works for you. For now, why not take a look at Group E? Because I forgot the exact results of their first games. Okay, I remember. So the Czech Republic lost versus USA and Netherlands versus Japan. This one I did remember. So this actually looks pretty bad because I would expect the USA to beat Malaysia and the Netherlands as well. And then the only hope for the Czechs would be to beat Japan, and I think most of you will know that this is an undertaking which many teams before them didn't manage to do, because Japan is the strongest team, even without names like Rabbit Rain or Pindotron, who push this team to another stratosphere or something. they'd be unbeatable with their best lineup, I'd say. So, no matter the other games, tomorrow is a do or die game for both these teams. So, consider my interest to be piqued, and I'm quite likely to stream this. For now, I'm out of here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for participating in the chat. Always nice to have a few people there helping me in a few instances. And if not, just bantering is okay as well. So thanks a lot and see you soon. Bye bye.